Yeah, I've been working with Billy now for a number of years, and I suppose it started off very simply, right? I was looking at my life policy, and I was looking at my health insurance, and I talked to Billy one day, and I said, "Oh, my insurance is up. My health insurance is up from Aviva, it's up for renewal." And he said, "How much are you paying for that?" And I said, "Oh, I think it was over €1,000 or something like that." "Oh, I can save you money on there." So I gave him the policy. He said, "Can I have a look at it to make sure you're going to get all the services back?" So I said, "Grand, I'll send it down to Billy. Sure, look, if you save me some money, why not?" So I gave him that, and he came back and said, "Oh, I can save you €200, but not only that, can I up the services?" So I got more service for less money. So that's fantastic. And then he said, "Do you have any other policies?" And because I'm in business, I have a number of personal policies and I have a number of business policies, but they're linked to mortgages or they're linked to life or whatever. But didn't really have a handle on them. So what I did was, "Billy, would you mind having a look at a few of these?" And he said, "Yeah, just scan them down." I just scanned them in, sent them off to Billy, and he had a look at them. And he came back to me one day and he said, "Do you realise you have a savings policy on one of those?" And I said, "No, I didn't." And he says, "No, it's going on a long time. So when I started business first, I took out a life policy. But in fairness to the broker I was dealing with at the time, he said, 'Oh, we'll put a savings element into this.'" Now, I didn't thought at the time, great, what a great idea. But it's only afterwards, about, I suppose, 12 years later, I discovered that there was €12,000 in the policy, in a savings policy. And Billy told me of this, and I said, "Oh, great." So I can get €12,000 to spend on myself, which I didn't know I had. So that was it. So I just got Billy then to look at all our policies, and that's how it happened. So very simply, one small transaction, which saved me money, and then it grew from there. So now Billy looks after all the business for us. When I met Billy first, it's difficult when people are looking for personal information and looking for your history and your life and what you have here, what you do there, you know, and you have to have a certain trust with somebody like that, and you have to pass them out personal bank statements, you have to give them business financial statements and stuff like that. So you need to have that trust. And when I met Billy first, I just felt he grew up in that business. He just seemed to know it very well. He seemed to have just a very friendly disposition about him. And I just took to him straight away. So I kind of trusted him within the first meeting nearly, you know what I mean? Even probably took a couple of months for us to do business with him, but I got that sense of trust immediately, and that to me is very important. If I'm doing business with somebody, and if somebody's doing business with me, I'd like to think that they trust me, and if especially at that level, you're giving them out your medical history, your life history nearly. So that's the first thing. That's what I found most important with him, and his knowledge. He's just very knowledgeable about things as well. So no, I found him very good. I would highly recommend him. I would highly recommend him to anybody. If anybody has any queries or any doubts about any type of dealings with banks, like I have a couple of issues there with a couple of the banks, and they were very detailed ones. I didn't have an understanding of it. I've come from a finance background and I couldn't understand it. So I had to set somebody that's in that arena, so in the finance business, in the life policy business, to look at it and analyse it for me properly. And then to come back and say to Ronnie, in layman's language, "Ronnie, this is the situation, this is what you need to do. You're actually right in this occasion. They're being, a little bit bullish, so you need to stand your ground on this. You're actually correct." And to go in with that confidence to say to them, "Listen, sorry, no, you're actually wrong." But when you go when you don't know or don't understand yourself, you think, "God, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm not looking at this properly." But for him to be able to come and give you that advice, you just feel there's great comfort level for the person to go in and meet a bank manager, or even a couple of people in a bank, to go in and say, "Listen, this is my situation, this is where I am at, and these are the facts, and I'm actually right and you're wrong." Whereas normally you go in and think, "Oh, the bank is always right." But in actual to have somebody behind you saying, "No, in actual fact, they're wrong on this occasion," then you can stand your ground. And in fairness, I have had a battle with one of the banks, and it turns out we were right, and we did win that. But it was because of Billy that I had the strength to go ahead and actually, "Yes, no, you're wrong." And so I would definitely, yeah, absolutely, if you have anything to do with financial at all, it's definitely great to pass it by somebody that understands and knows the system, and to go in and say, "Listen, no, that you can back up what they say." So definitely would highly recommend him to anybody, no matter what it is, and to do with finance. Billy's the man.